Hey, this is Ashley Swartz. I'm here for Beat at TV of Tomorrow in New York, and I'm very fortunate enough to be here with Bough. Bonen's the head of global media at MondelÄz. So you are at a TV conference, but you're like a digital guy. Tell me about that.
Well, I don't know if that's 100% fair. I'm digital born and bred. But look, again, my role is to oversee all of our media investment. And again, a large percentage of that, the overwhelming percentage of that is still invested in television. But even more than that is what I believe now is it's really about investing in quality content. And right now, the places that eyeballs are going are the places where there is quality content.
So, I mean, from your perspective as a buyer, you see TV as video, right? They're one and the same. It's simply about the content. Where does data, and especially as a CPG company, where does that fit into this for you? How do you bring that to the world of television?
Well, that's where we're working with companies like yourself. So I think that will be a part of the big unlock as we move forward. I mean, data will become more and more important to every single piece of media that we buy. One of the big reasons why we have launched partnerships with folks like TubeMogul is really about data ownership, us becoming smart data players. It's one thing to have exchanges, whether it's direct buying or even just reserved. It's another thing to actually be a data player when you go into those exchanges. And so that's what we see as the big unlock for our future when we continue to drive optimization and return.
So what do you think actually is going to drive the greatest, what's going to untap the greatest ROI for you? Is it the first party data that you as a brand have and what you know about your audience? Or is it the data that enables you to actually reach them? Like, what is it, your insights about the consumer or the ability to reach the consumer that becomes more valuable?
It's going to be both. It's interesting. So when you say first-party data, existing consumers, but we have a lot of first-party data from our insights team. So understanding the products that we're creating and the audiences that we're targeting to buy those products. So we have a lot of insights on the potential consumer. Now the challenge is how do we get those insights into the actual media in a way that we can buy it, that we can buy against some of those attributes. And that's where the overlay of data, the continuing growth of data in broadcast or in, let's just say, TV, for lack of a better term, is exciting because we know we'll be able to unlock greater value and drive greater growth of the business.
But do you think that journey is incremental, and that if we can't do sort of an email address overlay to an email address between, you know, a distributor of television and a first-party advertiser like yourself, is that incremental step of using third-party data sets and sort of continual overlays in television, is that meaningful for you right now? Are you seeing higher ROI as a result?
I mean, any opportunity for us to use data intelligently to reduce waste and increase efficiency and ultimately optimize growth of the business is valuable. The question becomes, how much effort do we have to put in to make it realize that value, and that's the cost perspective on the other side. It all depends. I mean, we're talking very theoretical, so it depends on the specifics, but the bottom line is this, is that the greater granularity we can have on targeting audience, and the more that we can increase the outcomes and likelihood of growth of our business, the better it is for us.
Do you think you're going to have one buy-side platform or DSP for both television and premium video, or do you think that in the meantime, the first that you adopt sort of for television, is it going to be what you have now, or do you think you're going to have to, there's going to have to be a homegrown sort of television native DSP?
Well, you know how I feel on the homegrown aspect. I think that one of the biggest misses in the marketplace right now is to take existing paradigms, primarily a digital video, a direct computer-to-computer paradigm, and try to overlay that in a world where there's linear and legacy systems. And so when I look at what's about to happen is we're going to have a pretty exciting next 5-7 years of really platform integration. And so people like yourself and Furious Corp building platforms that are specific to the challenges of the broadcaster, and more importantly to the technology that sits underneath that broadcaster's delivery system, whether it's planning, billing, you name it, that are specific and tailored to that. And so I think that the front ends of those are then going to also be tailored. Ideally, we want one system, of course, but I think there's a lot of evolution that's going to happen before we get there.
Awesome. Thanks, Bough.